with that being said, this is Force Gaming. I like watching his stuff. I actually watch a lot of it via Asmin, but I was excited to go over this one because this is talking about Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter. If anyone doesn't know, we technically started Monster Hunter, what? I'd say when the craze started happening again around like what, March? I want to say it was around March. So it's kind of one of those things where it's fresh. It was fresh for me, and I really liked it. So I kind of wanted to go over this and see what they were going to talk about. So yeah, Monster Hunter is really good. I didn't think I was going to like it as much, but let me just tell you something. When Worlds, or not Worlds, other way around, when Wilds comes out, I'm going to be all over that for months. If it's anything like how Iceborne is with their endgame, which I have played a little bit. I didn't want to tell you, chat, but I did kind of already start a little bit. So, but I'm saving the rest of it. For later. Just keep that in mind. But anyway, where was I?
So there were some pretty big leaks circulating this week concerning the next main installment for the Monster Hunter franchise. These claimed that...
By the way, question, just really quick. Does anyone know when it actually is coming out? Or is it kind of just a mystery? I know it's supposed to be next year. That's all I know. Nope. Okay. So do they have like a general time that they like to release things? Like March or somewhere during the summertime or anything like that? Or do they kind of just do it whenever? Wasn't 100% sure. But either way, I'm really excited to play. Just thought I'd ask since I am very new to the Monster Hunter series. Again, this is the only one I have played. So with that being said, I'm excited for the new one. I know that chat wanted me to try Rise. I want to say that was Rise. I might do it eventually. Eventually. It's hard to say. We have so many games to play that I'm just like, we'll see. Especially now that we're doing shorter content now, or shorter streams. I'm like, ooh, we'll see how that goes. But, you know.
Monster Hunter Wilds would be fully open world.
Also, one last thing. Look at this. Hold on, where was it? Do you see this? Do you see this guy? The dinosaur. So good. This was one of the first bigger monsters I saw, and this is how I knew right here that I was gonna like it.
That Monster Hunter Wilds would be fully open world.
That would be me too, just getting flopped. Especially whenever we first started.
You would have one big
Wait, can you parry him with that? Either he parried him or hit him at the perfect time. Because he just went... No, I don't like Forge. Oh god, it looks good.
To seamlessly explore as you play through the story, hunt monsters, and of course progress through the end game gear.
Also, I like his little horn. Like, because if I remember correctly, that's his stage 2, right? That's his stage 2. It's like the regular one, and that's when he because I think if I remember correctly, it kind of has wings. Could be wrong with that. Not 100% sure. Either way, the designs of these monsters are fantastic.
That Wilds would introduce more
unless we're talking about the flying green dragon. I don't like him. I don't like him or his wife. I'm just saying they're annoying. I hope they fix that. Oh, there he is.
World that it's going to be Capcom's quote biggest game ever, and that it's planned to release in the first quarter
I'm excited.
Of 2025. Now
first quarter or planned first quarter. So somewhere around what, like March? It should be maybe like around March, which would be funny because that's kind of when I played the Worlds. That's when I played Worlds. Now my question is this, and chat, you may maybe have like a, how should I say, maybe like a good feeling with this one, but do you think it's going to be like how the base game is for, like, let's say Worlds, or do you think it's going to be like starting literally at like how Iceborne was? Because you know how Iceborne is huge, and then there's like the end game and anything else. Like, do you think it's going to be like that, or do you think it's going to be like shorter and then go off to the other one? Because that's my question. I'm not 100% sure. It might be bigger. Probably as Iceborne. Okay, so probably thinking something like Iceborne. I hope so, because Iceborne was great. Also, I didn't mean to pause him like that. What a face. What a face.
These leaks were supposedly sprung by Dusk Golem, who, amongst the leaking community, is considered a...
Who is that blue one? Oh, that was Blue Rathalos. Rathalos? I think that's how you say his name. Sorry, I keep stopping at like stupid times, but I love how some of these monsters look. Again, very new to the series, so I've never seen these monsters ever. I love them so very much.
Tier 3 source. That's right. There are tier lists for video game leakers. You're hearing me correctly here.
Really? Wait a minute, pause. So I'm a big Pokemon fan. I've been a Pokemon fan for a very long time. Every time a new game is coming, there's always like somebody that leads brand new Pokemon or your starters, or you can pretty much know everything before the game even starts. I don't know how they find it, but they do. But I didn't know there was tiers to that shit. Yeah, I'll say I didn't know there was tiers. No way. I have never heard levels. You know, honestly, I learned something today.
Tier 3 source means that their information is accurate about.
I heard this was like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Sorry, I'm stopping. It's like the monkey form. It's like the monkey form.
It's not the most reliable
I liked how this one looked too.
But it's better than being only accurate like 5% or 1% of the time. Regardless of the average accuracy percentage, though, this whole thing got people talking because, of course, it did. The idea of a massive.
Okay, so this is like without like the color and like this is just polygons. Interesting. Oh, and they're gonna have a mount. I didn't even think about that. I totally forgot about that. A mount. Just imagine. You're just going to be just riding around because like, okay, so I heard that in Rise, there's mounts. But I know in Worlds, that's not a thing. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, how do you guys feel about mounts? Because again, I never played Rise, so I don't know how that works per se. But I actually don't mind Worlds because like, I feel like a real hunter. Just being able to just like track things and trap the well, let's be real, you're tracking monster shit all over the place. But like I wonder how that's gonna feel. It's gonna be fast movement. How you feel about the mounting? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. It does look awfully neat. Now, granted, it's polygons right now, so I'm sure it's gonna look great. You wanna know what I'm excited for? The customization for Worlds was fantastic. Never have I ever liked seeing my character so much because she looked good. And that game came out 2018? I want to say 2018. Listen, Black Metal. 2018. Okay, perfect. Damn, I am good at this. But yeah, so that's pretty good. So how is it going to look in 2025? Can only imagine.
Open world Monster Hunter game with new experimental mechanics.
Is it supposed to be open world?
Biggest game ever.
Is it supposed to be open world?
Quite appealing to Monster Hunter fans and to myself. Unfortunately,
because no other Monster Hunter game has been open world. Oh, we don't know. Okay, I wasn't entirely sure, but that does sound good. Like great example. Elden Ring. You know, that's one of my favorite games ever. It's one of my favorite games ever. When I play Elden Ring, it's open world. I love it. And it's so good as an open world that I actually wish it was an MMO. Because MMO players are starving for a new game. It's fucking starving. So with that being said, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Because like it would be fantastic. Now, granted, if it's anything like how Souls games are for PvP, you know that the lag for iframe rolls is maybe not the best. So it's kind of just, I don't know, it's just one of those things. Also, by the way, if anyone ever wants to know what my mic and like boom setup is, it's this. Literally, to the T. I think mine's a little bit lower, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Excitement didn't last very long as the real Dusk Golem posted on his Twitter account saying that someone had faked those screenshots that were being used as a source, and so they couldn't be trusted as.
But of course, Pokemon does the same thing. They'll post something, we're like, wow, that looks so cool, and we come to find out that Game Freak decides to be really lazy with their Pokemon. Go figure. Game Freak being lazy, that's crazy. Best company, by the way.
Although I will say this doesn't necessarily discount everything that was said here, because even if this leak wasn't real, it's not the first time that we've heard Monster Hunter Wilds will be an open world game. Prior verified leaks have said as much,
I cannot wait. Also, by the way, when I first got inside Iceborne, fuck that thing. It would hit me with the damn tree every single time. I try to roll through it, but for some reason, I'd still get smacked by it. I feel like I need to do like a Mario jump, just every time. Fuck that ram. it's a ram to me.
It's
It's a ram to me.
Months back, at the very least, suggest larger maps than we have ever seen for the franchise. It also hints at
even if
plenty
it's
of
not
new
open world,
interesting
being able to
mechanics,
have the
which
bigger
is
maps.
to be
Actually, hold on,
expected, because don't
pause.
forget-
Yeah, I have been pausing a lot. Oh, this reacting nanny stuff's gonna be tough. But actually, if anything, that might be better. But anyway, they definitely would need to get bigger maps, because if you think about it, if you're gonna have mounts, like, you need it, because the maps, like, on Worlds, especially for Iceborne, they're pretty big. But they're gonna need to be way bigger, because mounts are like, we need like expanded land. Just saying.
This is the next mainline installment in the franchise, which usually means new stuff. If you weren't aware, Monster Hunter
I'm
games
excited.
release in
Remember how I said that ram's bad? No, this thing ain't nobody like this boss. It looks cool, but God, is it annoying to fight.
Major and then minor game in between.
One of my favorite monsters right there.
Monster Hunter World was
The bone one.
Monster Hunter 5,
The bone one.
followed by Monster Hunter Rise as a stopgap in between. This
Ooh, I
next
hope
game,
that they
Monster
fix
Hunter Wilds,
Rapalos's
which will
thing,
be
because I can
kicking
never
off the
catch him.
sixth generation
He's a
for
hard
the
one to
franchise.
catch,
And a new
even with the
generation
hook
tends
shot.
to mean an opportunity for them to try new things. While
I'm
Capcom
excited.
has been very tight-lipped when it comes to
Something that I've noticed, kind of like Monster Hunter, at least from what I'm seeing, is kind of like the Call of Duty franchise when it comes to companies. There's like what is it? It's Treyarch, and then what's the other one? The one that makes Black Ops, or maybe that's the other way around. Not entirely sure which way it is, but either way, I know there's 2 companies at least, or maybe there's 3. I'm actually not entirely sure. Yeah, with Activision. Wait, is it Activision? Like, literally just Activision? So it's Activision, and then it's also Treyarch. There you go. Oh, see? No. See, look at that. It's not Activision. Treyarch, Raven Studios, and Sledgehammer. Oh, so there's 3. Okay, the reason why that I bring that up is because seems like Monster Hunter has the same thing. Because from my understanding, World, and again, I'm new, so don't hit me. But when it comes to that, I know that like Worlds was made by one part of their company, and Rise was made by another. So I find it really interesting that they're all split together, because I noticed the mount thing was inside Rise, right? So I'm assuming that they're just mushing stuff together. Take the good, get rid of the bad. That's my guess, which is really cool. It makes it so that there's more stuff and there's multiple eyes on the same project, and I really do like that. So let's see what they do with it. Also, I wonder what Rise team is going to do for the next year.
The initial announcement trailer, short as it was, did actually provide a sneak peek of quite a few things that we can expect.
New
and
monsters.
There was actually a fair bit here. Before we dive into those details, though, and everything else that we know about the game, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored.
Chat, what if I start doing sponsors one day?
AFK Journey. You may have heard of its predecessor, AFK Arena. Well,
I say that because like it would only be like in YouTube videos. I don't think I would do them. I don't think I would do them.
It's also I don't know. An RPG where you
but I've been seeing a couple of our friends play this. Couple of our friends.
As the legendary mage Merlin.
Get that back. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me talk about that really fast. I would never ever do and again, you better fucking clip me on this just so I don't fucking do anything stupid. But like, I don't think I would ever do sponsors or things that I don't like. Like, great example, the only things that I like so far, Ooh Market and Gamer Subs. Gamer Subs is delicious. I'm actually drinking some right now, so I like it. Shout out to Gamer Subs. Use code SIVII and you can get some drink. Or some clothes. They actually have some really cool clothes. And we also have sponsored by Savii. Oh, actually, that one's still working. Cool. And then Ooh Market. But Ooh Market makes it so you can get all my merch. So that's it. So just two things. But if I ever did sponsor stuff, you know what it would be like? Like, for instance, like, you remember how Remnant 2 was doing something when it first came out, even though I missed it? It would have to be games that I like. Maybe not mobile games. But at the same time, get that bag. If I was a YouTuber, just a YouTuber, I didn't work or anything else, like, I'd do the same thing. Raid Shadow Legends win, I would never. And like I said, it's been 3 years. I've never done a sponsor, minus those two. Those are like continuous ones. Again, do I really care for anyone else that actually do it? No. Like I said, do your own thing. If anything, make that bag. Make that bag, honey. So, but at the same time, that's kind of just my stance on it. And besides, I just have my IRL job. So why try to do shilling for money if I can just do my own thing, right? That's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how I see it. Oh, wait a minute. Get that bag. Are you in here? How you doing? How you doing? It's great to see you. I hope you've been well. I hope you've been well. Doing some React Native content. We're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Diverse maps, meet interesting
Go check out Bag. He's really cool. He plays a ton of Souls games.
Collaborate with guildmates in Sandbox GVE or match with strangers.
Yeah, I think I saw either it was a Tedu or was it Code playing this, or maybe it was Rennie.
Dream Realm, Legend Trail, Arena, and more. AFK Journey officially releases with over 40 free heroes, including
because you said his name 20 times. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Plus free
You're so stupid. I said the bag.
Polls by progressing
you know what, mods? You're funny. You're funny. Ha ha ha.
Journey is free to play, available now with
yeah, that's like my thought process on that.
From the official website.
Because I think most of the gacha peeps are like playing it. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know if I could ever do gacha games. Mainly just because, you know, I can be bad with money sometimes. But I haven't played a gacha game in like over 5,000 years, 84 years.
Okay, Journey 88.
But yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about the matter. So if you do sponsor and do stuff, awesome. I mean, like, if you think about it, my friend Tedu, my friends like What Code, and a few others, I mean, they all do it. And I think to myself, good, make that money. Support your streamers. Support your streamers. Support your streamers.
About Monster Hunter Wilds. Well,
actually, I think Mooney did something too.
The reveal trailer, as well as a few additional sources of news and some, leaks, but this time verified, that we've picked up over the past couple of months. Now, since the original trailer was revealed, we've had internet.
Look how many monsters there are. Now, I know these are like the baby ones, but like I'm just saying, if I remember correctly, in Worlds there will only be like a few in one spot. But like if they're all dying, I'm just gonna start just crafting. Oh, you know what though? Think about this. There's so many of them, right? So if it's anything like how it was in the other one, you would have to just go back to their dead body and skin every single one of them. That would be like 20 minutes of just straight. Bear, I agree. I just hope that it runs well. I just hope that it runs well. Wait, what is this? What is this? What is this? Is this poll for freaking sponsors? You guys are silly. Well, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for supporting me. Just know that that's not me. I've been streaming for 3 years. It's just not really my thing. I could if I wanted to, but I just think it kind of takes away from our personal content. So, plus I don't think I really need it 100%. So, but thank you. At least I know I am indeed supported, so appreciate that.
Loose going through and dissecting every single pixel on every single frame, and from this a lot of information has been pulled. So for one, yes, if it's not a fully 100% completely open world with seamless zones,
I wonder if it is.
At the very least expect that Wilds is going to feature zones that are significantly larger in size than any of their prior games.
Question.
We had a few
especially after seeing that, do you think they're going to bring the hookshot back? Because I heard that the hookshot is going to be a or not going to be. I heard that it was, a controversial like item. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I liked it, especially being a new player, because I'm a new player. So I know that some OGs did not like it, but I think that they should bring it back, but better, because I felt like it was a little clunky. It was clunky. That's what it was. If it was smooth as shit, then I'm cool with that. I'm 100% cool with that. But to me personally, it felt clunky. Am I right or am I right? Like, I don't know. It just felt a little weird. Oh, I heard about that. I heard in Rise, like there's a bug wire, which apparently is like a better hook shot. So if they want to bring that in here, I never had a chance to play it, but if it's anything like that, I'm totally down. Like, totally down. So let's see how that goes.
Displaying what appear to be fairly huge swaths of explorable area. That, along with the mount offering increased traversal speed,
that looks so exciting.
Coincidentally great for covering large distances. This mount seems to have a few modes.
Oh my god! Look at those things. What the fuck are those things? It's like nasty looking mammoths. That's great. That's great.
On 2 legs, a sprinting animation on 4 legs, and then some light flying mechanics or gliding to be specific.
Okay.
Also,
so it's gonna be like Breath of the Wild, or whichever one that one is. I never really played the new Legend of Zelda games, but like, you know how they like use the cape and just fly down? That's what it reminds me of.
Speaking of the map size and the mount and how they might be related, well, at one point we see this mount hopping between rock formations launching off of these gemstone
Oh,
pads.
I like
now,
that.
This pretty clearly appears to be a locked-in animation happening almost automatically.
You know what that is? Like, you remember when you like use your hook shot to like fly off like the bug? That's what that is. That's what that is. That's what that is there. So it's like, I'm assuming like there'll be an area and you could probably just be like, probably like the same thing. Oh, I wonder if they'll even have a hook shot and just let you use your mount. That actually isn't a bad idea. You can just use your mount to jump on them.
At one position, and then you automatically
that would be
hop
cool.
between those spots until you get to the ending point. And this would actually make a whole lot of sense as
actually
somewhat
quote
of
me
a
on
zone
that. They might actually do
transition.
that.
So just imagine this. You've got this desert-like biome that we see in the trailer, and then all along the edges at specific points, we can imagine there were exit locations going into other adjacent biomes, almost acting as like a seamless loading screen from one map into another. This would be a great alternative to one full seamless open world.
I agree.
Where you still have the map system that
100%
is known for, but then you have connecting points without actually hitting a hard loading screen. You just have like a transition animation. So maybe
I agree. Which, you know, he brings up a great point. And again, coming from a new player, that sounds awesome. But any like OGs in here? Because my thing is this: how do you guys feel about going from like kind of like mission to mission spots to like more open world? Because you know what that reminds me of? And again, maybe I'm using the wrong game, but like I feel like, you know how Dark Souls, like the whole series has always been like you go from one area to the next area, you fight one boss and you do that, like boom, that's it. I feel like it's very similar. And then when they went over to Elden Ring, they made it just open world. Some people loved it, myself included, and some people didn't like it. They didn't like it. So I wonder if that is going to be how it is. And if that's the case, how many OGs are actually going to like that or not? Open world is just going to be better. OG here. I've been playing Monster Hunter for 15 years. And your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Generations was like that. See, I wish I could have had a bit of a concept of that a little bit better. You know, like I wish I was been able to play back in the day, like kind of thing. Also, can you hear music in the background? I can fix that. I think there might be somebody in the house. So it's probably one of my family members getting ready for like the birthday for the birthday party. Sorry if it's like kind of loud. But anyway, yeah, so that was my first game. I really do like it, and I just like to get a feel. You know what? I actually also like, I'd like to be able to know, it's like kind of like a very similar example, like kind of like old WoW players compared to like new people that play WoW. Some people hate it. Some people who are just jumping in, even though there are not very many new WoW players, they're like, wow, I love this. So like, it just, I guess it depends on the new generation, like kind of thing. If we gotta switch generations, Ultimate is a great tribute to the series before Worlds. I just want my game to look pretty. It better play good and look as pretty as this, because I thought the game looked really pretty, even for right now. Even for, or excuse me, for, because it came out in 2018 and then started to push back over to now. Sorry, my model's breaking. And for like graphics now, I think it looks fantastic still. So I'm hoping that it still looks as nice, if not better. And then of course, gameplay even better. So we'll see. It better be snappy. That's my thing. Gameplay is the number one thing ever. But the graphics aren't, you know, kind of nice too.
Mountain and snow map. Or if you headed east, you would go into the forest map. Or if you headed
west,
I
see what they're saying.
So
you'll have a big map that's
might have similar.
You have a big map that's like one that's the forest, and then you'll move over to like a complete ice area. So you know what that reminds me of? Dark Souls 2, where you go over to a one section, all of a sudden it's like lava. Then all of a sudden the next spot is like castles and everything else. So it's not bad, minus the fact that if you remember Dark Souls 2, you're going upwards and all of a sudden you're at a lava area. Does it make sense? No, but at the same time, you know. Before I played WoW, I was playing Guild Wars and didn't really get into WoW. Plus, the main account is locked in whatever region. Really? So for me, I played WoW more than anything else, any other MMO. I never really played Final Fantasy, not a big fan. But I did play like Guild Wars and a few other things, so that was kind of my cup of tea. So, but I did play a few other ones, but nothing competed with WoW. WoW was just WoW, and I loved it. So,
exit points with seamless transitions into the other
I hope it would be
adjacent zones. I actually
seamless.
think rather than one big seamless open world, this idea of connected maps with transitions between them seems more likely and much more
I like
in
that.
line
I think
with
that's
what I
better.
would personally expect
Personally,
from a
I think that's
Monster Hunter
better.
game. Some other interesting notes here, specifically on the mount. We see that it looks to be carrying supplies, including what appears to be a fabric tent, which could possibly mean, and people are speculating, we'll be able to set up mobile camps while exploring.
Yeah,
which again,
I think that would make so much sense if you think about it. If you think about you are hunting, if anyone's ever been hunting. So I used to live in Colorado and I had family that used to go and hunt. So like, it's kind of one of those things, if you're out there for a couple days and you don't have a spot, you make a spot. You make a spot, you make a camp. So to me, that makes sense completely. So also, question, do you think cooking is going to actually be useful? Do you remember when I was fucking around when we were playing earlier and I would just cook just to be silly? But I wonder if it's actually going to be like useful. I wonder if it's going to be used to, you know? So that's just me.
Would make sense if the game is as large as theorized. We're out there riding on our mount, and then at either specific locations or just wherever we want, we can maybe set up a camp, and then this would allow us to cook food and get supplies.
Exactly.
And maybe even possibly
Now I wonder if the food is going to be just better.
That is the idea of weapon
then like,
swapping
okay, I wonder if it's going to be the equivalent, not better, but the equivalent of the food you would get from like, you know, when like at the start. I wonder if you could do that, because that would be fucking badass. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be so nice. Especially if the worlds are huge. Also, I see you guys wasting money. Just so you know, TTS is off during these things, so keep that in mind.
Carrying a great sword on their back. However, on the side of the mount, we do see what appears to be a light bow gun inside of a
multiple weapons. That would be badass. Also, just keep this in mind mentally. But what do you guys think we should play to start off? I think, even though I kind of pushed away from it originally, we got to do the greatsword. We have to do the greatsword. It has to be done. I think that is something that I didn't really do too much of prior, and I wanted to. Hunting horn. Okay, mods ban that guy. Nobody plays hunting horn. So I think what we're probably going to do is like the heavy. Either that or like the hammer. Not entirely sure. Gunlands. I might do that. Not entirely sure.
holster, hinting at the idea that we might possibly, while out on hunts, be able to swap from one weapon to
I think
another,
we should do that.
To the mount
I think we should do that.
For us.
Also, hi Rav. Listen, Rav has a great point. If it's anything like how it was, with the worlds, Bo was okay. I'm gonna be real with you. Bo made the monsters drop instantly. Then they get back up, and then they drop, and they get back up, and then they drop, and then you just win. I did not think a bow was a fucking shotgun. So there is that. So I might play bow too. I never fucking play range weapons. I think they're so boring. But the way that I saw Rav and a few others play it, you're right in front of them, like, okay, well there goes my model, but
appear like weapon swapping from
those
one
look like
class to another
armadillos.
in the middle of a hunt would
Am
be
I right?
something that we will be getting in Wilds, which is a pretty big addition to the franchise.
I
Other
agree.
things noted from the trailer.
Wait,
is
how do you
monster
guys feel
density.
about multiple weapons? To me, I feel like it's almost like necessary. Listen, a big hunt, you'd want to have multiple things. Like what if, because if you remember correctly, some monsters are weak against some, but not others. So it would be cool to have two things, at least, minimum of like two things. You don't have to have like 10 different things, but at least two. I think two would be so cool to have. But maybe that's just me. But yeah, I wasn't sure if any other like Mon Hunt enjoyers feel like the same way.
It seems like we will be getting an increased variety of this. In one shot, we can see upwards of 40 monsters with a mix of predator, prey.
Also, do you see this? Oh wait, hold on. How do I backspace just a little bit? I forget what button it is. I know, I'm stupid. But which one is it? Is it arrows? Okay, wait a minute.
A variety of this. In one shot, we can see upwards of 40.
Do you see this? I think these little birds on here are so cute. I wonder if you can net them. That'd be so cool. I never actually had like a chance to do much netting. But here's the thing. If we start at the very beginning with everybody else, I feel like I'm going to want to test everything. Every little thing. Plus, you already know this is going to be like a big thing for a while. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Space is much larger than is typical for Monster Hunter games. Territory wars appear to be returning as well.
They fucking better. Let me tell you, I thought that was the coolest thing about this game. Am I right or am I right? Being able to see two giant monsters like giant kaijus just fighting, huge. So I don't know. I just think that's really cool. It's really cool and I do like it. So, but yeah.
A big feature in Monster Hunter World. In the trailer, we can see these large furry predators attacking the armadillo.
They look like nasty ass mammoths.
Pangolin-looking creatures here.
Oh,
we
do
also
they
see
eat?
what looks to be dynamic.
Did you see that man just get yeeted like that? Look at this. Look at this. He's just like, help me.
Here. We also see what looks to be dynamic
the armadillo just got bit. Just
dust cloud rolls in, engulfing the player, and then followed immediately by a lightning storm.
You just got yoinked there. He's like, get on my face.
Not just be visual in nature, but also impact the environment and monsters.
That is cool.
We can see lightning
you know, with the lightning, I thought that was a new monster because, like, do you see his horns?
Probably making them stronger. And then
see?
there's also a
see, that's so cool.
These pillars getting struck by lightning, and maybe that then also stores the lightning, and potentially players can make use of it either by forcing monsters to run into these lightning pillars once they're charged.
I wonder how they're going to do that.
Weapon on the lightning pillars. There's all sorts of possibilities here. And as for the hunter, we did make a couple of notes for hunter equipment. Now there's the obvious, they're carrying a weapon and they've got their armor, but then we also see a slinger like the one used in Monster Hunter World. And what
I did like the slinger. I wasn't the best at it, but I started noticing later on I would use the slinger and be able to just make them smash right inside the wall. I was really late with that. It wasn't until like Iceborne when I actually started to really use it. So it took forever. But like I said, I'm a baby. I'm a baby when it comes to that. So I tried my best, but I was still a little messy. But I will be better this time.
Slinger, of course, used for hurling various projectiles at monsters, and then the Scoutfly cage is used for helping with navigation and tracking while on a hunt. So yeah, as I mentioned, it was a brief trailer, but there's
I will never use stealth, by the way. I hope they keep the wall slams. Yes, well, actually, Rev, we were talking about this earlier, but the claw. I don't know if they're going to keep the claw, and if they do, I was told that in Rise, there's a better one, so I hope that... I just didn't like in Worlds where the claw felt like it made combat kind of stiff. I don't like stiff combat. So, you know, we all like a little stiff thing from time to time, but combat, that's not what I want. I want it to be smooth. I want it to be smooth.
This is like a compilation of all of the detailed information that like dedicated Monster Hunter fans have kind of gleaned while looking at the trailer 100 times over and over and over again.
I'm excited to play that.
It's not just kind of pulling things from the reveal trailer. There's been other sources of information. So for example, there was a brief interview with the game's producer where he revealed that the game will feature a new level of detailed creatures and ecosystems. And this pretty much confirms the idea.
That makes me so happy. Because listen, I thought Worlds had beautiful looking monsters. I can tell that my mom is starting to cook. my little brother's birthday today. But sorry if you hear the music, I'll turn it down in a second. But I thought that the monsters in this game were fantastic. They look great. So again, I hope that the graphics stayed in the same. That
we're going to be having this diverse interactions between
as long as it's not like Rise, because Rise's monsters look like doo-doo.
Monsters,
but then again, it's for the Switch, so Switch is
quite well done.
I love Switch games, but they're doo-doo.
We have these like predator and prey interactions, fights over territory. It seems like that will be making a return here in Wilds. He also mentioned that they're taking full advantage of the current generation.
Do you see these? Hold on. Do it again.
Territory. It seems like
give me those territory fights
here in Wilds.
Diablo.
He also mentioned that they're taking full
Diablo
advantage
looks so
of
good.
the current generation of hardware.
That is my favorite right there. Well, he's cool too. I like the pickle. Oh, these two are also some of my favorites. Just saying.
In Wilds, he also
but I do enjoy him probably the most. I don't know, something about his boniness. Like I just think it's cool.
The specific note here is that it will not be releasing on the prior generation of consoles. Also, there's been no mention of a Switch release, and at this point, it's seeming like
I know that sounds terrible. Well, first off, where are my PC enjoyers? Where y'all at? Because that's what you need right there. But I will say one thing is that when it comes to games like this, I want them to be on the newer consoles because the newer consoles are a little stronger. They're a little stronger. So to me, it makes just more sense. It makes more sense to do it that way. So just so I can see them in peak graphics. I just pray, and someone brought it up earlier today, but I just pray that it plays well, not like how Dragon's Dogma 2 was, because I heard a lot of issues with that. So I hope it comes out perfect. If anything, I heard that at least for Capcom, that's Monster Hunter is one of their flagships. So it better be
unlikely unless we get a Switch 2 or some big upgrade.
That's true.
Nintendo.
Does anybody know if there's like a Switch 2 coming out anytime soon? I've heard rumors, but I haven't seen nothing yet.
And then we've also had some verified leaks. A few things have spilled out here and there over the past few months.
Monster Hunter is their moneymaker, so they better.
Learned that Monster Hunter Wild.
It just better be, because again, I'm not really too familiar with Capcom and like their stuff. But one thing I will say is that even like Game Freak, right? Game Freak, Pokemon is their flagship, but every Pokemon game has like 1 frame per second, and God, it does it play like absolute dog shit. But people still buy it because it's Pokemon, including myself. But yeah, Game Freak just sucks. So I always hope that Capcom, even though I do hear some issues, at least with them, is not terrible. When devs just force the poor quality graphics because it needed to be on an older device. 100%. 100%. Actually, give that man a sub. Give that man a sub, because I completely agree. That's why I said don't go on the lower consoles. Again, I am a PC player, so I don't play consoles really. I prefer to play on like PC no matter what. But I will say that if it is going to be on console, which I know every game is going to be, put it on the latest one, because those are tougher, those are stronger, and that's what we want. That's what we want.
RE engine, and will take advantage of the expanded functionality that came
I'm
when
assuming
Capcom was developing Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh God, don't even talk about it. But listen, I play PC every single time, but if there is no like way to play it like that, I have a PlayStation 5, so I can play it. So thank God for that.
Yes, we could point to the fact that Dragon's Dogma 2 is an open world game. It features these large seamless maps. Now again, this doesn't mean
I love that bad. I love how he looks, but God, is he irritating.
Open. It could still very well be a map-based system.
I don't think that it will be.
Into these different playable areas.
I don't think that it will be. I think it's going to be kind of open world.
Transitions from one zone
like way
to
more,
another,
but like probably not completely open.
Like the advances made to the RE engine will let them make much larger maps.
I didn't get a chance to do a lot of dancing there, but that looked like a lot of fun.
This was hinted at in the trailer with the large swaths of land that we saw on display. Although I gotta say, running on RE engine and being more open with these larger zones, especially ones with a higher density of enemies, it does raise a few concerns, because for as much as I enjoy playing Dragon's Dogma 2, the game's performance wasn't particularly great. Playing through.
How is the game? We actually never had a chance to play it. Because I went on a little hiatus, little early, but I will say that yeah, it does look like fun gameplay when it wasn't dog shit. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, good. I may one day play it. I have no idea, but I've heard mixed opinions about it. I think what started to sour it a little bit was not the microtransactions. Trust me, I saw the Manhunt microtransactions, so I was like, wow, there's a lot. But I will say that the performance just by itself, and also bad timing, at least for me, made me just not want to play it, which sucks because, honestly, I know I'm doing a video right now, but look, so this picture right here, Switch did, which by the way, good job, Switch, is supposed to be Dragon's Dogma, and we haven't played it yet. So it's just kind of one of those things. Also, hi Paris, thank you for the 18 months, by the way. Hey,
Ti and an i7 processor. I've got like 64 gigs of RAM or something, and I was constantly
is there a fucking parry? Wait, hold up. So I think I should have done like great swords for anyone that's watching for later. Like I use dual blades, and don't get me wrong, they were fun. But I felt stiff sometimes, especially with dual blades, which is weird because I'm like, it should be really fast. So I don't know. It was weird. Hi, Rosie. How are you doing? Hello there. Reacting to my favorite game. It's one of my new favorites too. So you ain't alone there. It's good to have you. Hi.
RAM or something, and I was constantly dealing with performance problems. And in the 8 or so hours that I spent playing the game on my PlayStation 5, even locking the game at 30 frames per second wasn't enough to prevent regular frame drops.
Was there bad performance for this one? Because here's the thing, I didn't have it, but I also run a 4090. I run a 4090, so like, the computer is pretty beefy, right? But like, shout out to Starforge, Starforge. Let me tell you, y'all make good ass computers, just saying. So appreciate you.
So yes, RE Engine doesn't exactly have the best starting showcase when it comes to its ability to handle an open world
But
game.
they look
games
good
with
though.
Large maps, especially
It looks
ones
good
with
and the combat
increased
was
monster
decent,
density,
right?
as seems to be the case here with Monster Hunter Wilds having apparently more density than we've seen in Monster Hunter games in the past. So you combine all of those things, the idea that this is going to be one of the biggest Monster Hunter games.
I hope
with
it is.
either the biggest
I'm excited.
worlds or
Again, being
completely
new,
open
I'm
world
like,
with the
oh, I
increased
can't
monster
wait, can't wait.
density.
It was kind of like for me. So I started like really late in the Souls games, like with all my Souls games, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, all of that, Sakura. So all of that. So, but I only had a chance to do a few Souls games before Elden Ring came out. So I was only very new with like, I was very new with that series particular. So when I jumped into Elden Ring, I was quite new still. So I was like, ooh, this is amazing. I think I only had Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Sakura underneath my belt during that time. Now I have everything done, but it took a while for me to fully get with the flow kind of thing. Little motion in the ocean.
RE Engine, it leaves me a little bit concerned, but I guess on the plus side, we are at least a full year
But they're
away
using the
from
same
launch of
engine?
Monster
Like,
Hunter
is that
Wilds,
confirmed?
And hopefully in that time, they can make continued improvements to the engine. They can optimize things.
It better.
Dragon's Dogma 2 gets better, but then also if Wilds is in fact running on RE Engine, hopefully that game will be
Okay, so they don't know yet.
When it
They don't
first
know yet.
releases. Something else that we know for sure is going to be in Monster Hunter Wilds is, of course, microtransactions, because yes, hot off of the
You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Microtransactions are just going to be there. Apparently Capcom's pretty big with those. But here's the thing. We were talking about like gacha games earlier. Like anyone that plays like Star Rail or Genshin or anything else, like they're there. Just don't buy them. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I personally don't care. I don't care. Just don't buy them. Like, it's just that simple. You have no self-control. That's your fault. Well, that could also be mental illness. I have a bit of an issue with that sometimes, but I will spend money on a game that is good. Great example, Helldivers. You don't really even need to spend money on there, but I did buy a little bit of credits just to get the most recent Battle Pass. Worth it. Or I guess Warbond. Worth it. I don't care. I will spend money on that because it is good.
Dogma 2 is the discussion of Capcom releasing games with day one.
Shame others who actually do. No. Let them have their fun. Spend your money. Enjoy it. I mean, money's meant to have fun with it, right? So
it's just for worse. It's
as long as you have your bills paid.
The fact that they're launching all of their games with microtransactions, as like worthless, as unimportant, as unimpactful.
It is
as
what
it
it
might
is.
be, it doesn't.
It is what it
make
is.
The game's better. That is for sure.
It is
so
what
yes,
it is.
Just like Monster Hunter World, just like Monster Hunter Rise. Just
like I said, do I like them really? Not really, but I rather earn them. But
day one paid for content in Monster Hunter Wilds as well.
I'm already ready for it. Again, that doesn't bother me that much. It is the performance and how it looks. That's it. How it plays and how it looks. I don't want it to look like dog shit, and I want to play very well. You can have all the fucking microtransactions in the entire world. Y'all play Valorant before? Yikes. Those are a lot. You ever play League of Legends? Whew. Recent World of Warcraft? Yikes. So yes, it's a bit of a mess. Don't even get me started on the WoW token.
I'm hopeful, really hopeful for this game. The microtransaction conversation aside, Monster Hunter World was really successful. In fact, it was the most
really
successful game in Capcom history.
It was good. Coming from somebody that never played the series before, it made me think to myself, this is good. How have I missed this for so long? It was something like that. Kind of like for me, because I do like strategy games. The Fire Emblem series. Took me a long time to finally get into it, but I loved it. I thought it was good. I was a little mad it took me so long to get started, so I was like,
It released in 2018. The game remains insanely popular, averaging a peak daily concurrent count of nearly 100,000 players on Steam alone.
It makes me want to play it again.
Not the only platform that
but I
told myself,
we're going to be doing end game stuff when Wilds gets closer. Just so you know, we're going to go back in and finish all the end game. Because chat keeps making fun of me like, you didn't actually finish the game. I'm like, shut the hell up. Nobody asked you. Shush. Silencios. Gracias.
It's really impressive. In fact, the most recent Monster Hunter game, Rise, which released a couple of years ago in 2022, that doesn't come even close to the numbers that Monster Hunter World
because it looks like ass. Hot take? Probably not. Listen, this game looks really good. The strategies looks awesome. It's just good. It's just better. to me personally.
The point of this being...
Actually, hold on. That's my personal opinion. But what about you guys? Again, I'm coming from somebody new. I heard that the gameplay and stuff in Rise is just better. But at the same time, I just think that Worlds makes me feel like I'm actually hunting stuff. And it just looks better. Like, while Rise, to me, is arcadey. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I feel about the matter. I feel like one is more arcadey, while the other one is more like real hunting. So that's how I feel about the matter. Again, of course, that's from a new person perspective.
With how successful World was, and with it being such a big deal for Capcom,
I just like it to be more immersive.
In Monster Hunter, the pressure is on.
World sold 25 million copies. Good. They deserve it.
Next major.
I was surprised with how good that it was.
I do expect them to take some big swings. I expect them to try some.
That dragon looks so cool.
I also expect them to have it feel.
He looks nasty, but he looks so fucking cool.
All the new fans that World picked up are gonna be comfortable with the game. So yes, like I'm excited. I expect like the open world nature, or at least the large open maps with potentially those interconnected, seamless transitions between zones. I do expect things.
I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things.
Like, a lot of the mechanics and stuff, the things that people got familiar.
By the way, didn't mean to put my
I
mouse consistently on like the screen.
Over, at least in spirit with this game, but just at a larger and bigger scale, and that is exciting for me. A little bit concerned if it is in fact running on RE engine about performance. That's actually
so the RE engine. I'm assuming just the Resident Evil engine. I'm assuming that's what that means. I have played a good amount of Resident Evil games, but I didn't know if that was a specific engine for that. I'm assuming so. Also, I feel bad for this man. I keep pausing him on like the worst faces, so my bad.
That's probably one of my biggest worries about the game right now, because we do actually know so little. There's been so few actually confirmed details, just what we can pull and glean.
I have a question,
and hypothesize from looking at.
I'm assuming that they've been working on this for a while, and now, of course, it was the perfect timing because World got like really popular again, and everyone started getting like excited. But I hope they're not releasing it too early. Again, I'm assuming like this team's probably been working on it ever since Iceborne finished, because again, it's like a different team. But I hope that they give it enough time. That's my concern. They use Resident Evil or RE engine for a bunch of stuff. I see the splash screen all the time. Interesting. So we're learning something today. We're learning something.
But yeah, if it's actually running on RE engine and it is going to be bigger and the monster density is going to be higher, Dragon's Dogma 2 wasn't the best showcase of that engine's ability to handle big, open, highly dense.
I watched Charlie. So my two favorite people that I always watch for like, especially reacting content, Asmongold, I think he's the best, and then also Moist Critical. And I remember watching Moist Critical trying to make a character, and it kept breaking. So he tried again, and it broke. And then he tried again, and after a while, he's like, you know what, just whatever, the default character. That's gotta suck, because I thought their engine, their customization for the engine for all that, it was good. It was really good. But if it doesn't work, then what are you gonna do?
So yeah, what are you gonna do? Concern. But as I said, we got a year, so hopefully that they can make it better.
I pray that's gonna be good. I pray.
All that
Let
stuff,
us pray.
We can get a better showcase of how RE Engine can handle a game of that scale. For now, though, we wait. We did learn during the initial announcement that they plan to reveal
I just
more
love that they keep showing that
Monster Hunter Wilds in the coming months, specifically sometime.
This is why I want to use the Great Sword again. Look at this. I did briefly play around with it, and I know that it was really hard to learn because you had to like learn the patterns and blah 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 blah. But the weapons look cool, and look at this.
More details about Monster Hunter Wilds in the coming months, specifically sometime
just bop
this
that
summer.
boy.
And
God, that looks so good. It looks so good.
In 2025. Whether or not those leaks will be true at all, and if it comes in the first.
Also, I love that they chase you.
We have no clue, but we should
Such
be
a
getting
good
further
game.
confirmation.
I would say ahead of its time.
Targeted
ahead of its time.
At some point in the next few months. So let's stay tuned for that. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated because this is one of the games on the horizon.
By the way, this is Forest Gaming. They're really cool. I like watching them for news. I either watch them by themselves or with Asmon. Asmon does them too as well. So it's great channel. Please go and check them out. Actually, link will be in the chat. I want to make sure that I'm copying all links and stuff. I forgot to do this last time too. So by the way, for any of my VOD watchers, just know I am very new at a lot of this. So bear with me. We're getting a little bit better, but good video. I like this. This gets me excited for Wilds. There was a lot of leaks that I didn't even realize. Or not even specifically leaks, like with the trailer and like some of the stuff that they've been showing off. I guess it is a little leaks from like time to time. So I think it looks great. I do like it. So I'm very excited. So chat, I hope you guys are too, because when this comes out, I'm going to be all over it. I'm going to be all over it. As a new Monster Hunter player, this is my kind of game. It's like Souls, but with giant monsters. So, and also a little bit more open world. So that's nice. Like Elden Ring, except with like T-Rexes. Also, it better not just be dragons. Because let me tell you, there was a ton of dragons after a while. And don't get me wrong, I love dragons. I think they look awesome. But if they do that, you better give me a hook shot or something. Because it's hard to catch you. Let's just say that. It's hard to catch you. But yeah, so let us pray, chat. So, but yeah, good. I'm super excited.